सुरू करूया.
Under Rule 49(2) of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business of Goa Legislature Assembly, I seek postponement of star question LQ number 1A, 7A and unstar LQ number 34, 91 and 115 to next session of the Assembly.
ओके. पहिला प्रश्न श्री प्रताप सिंग राणे.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to know this forest corporation. Let me pose the question, madam.
तुम्ही प्रश्न विचारा.
Yes, question number 1B. Would like to know what is the salary.
Let the minister answer first.
I would like to know, I am asking the question. I will let her. As per cycle.
Answer as per the cyclostyle sheet.
Thank you. I would like to know what is the salary of the managing director of this corporation?
Government official.
Respected sir, I'm not aware of this information, but if you give me the question, I will give you the information later.
He is a officer of Indian Forest Services. So
I want to know what is the salary.
Must be about 60,000, 70,000.
60,000. Now, this corporation, as per the reports submitted to the House, 2009, 10, 2010, 11, has been making losses. This year's audit report is not on the table. I'd asked for this year's audit. It's not done. Has the minister seen the state of affairs of the cashew plantations that were earlier carried out by the forest department?
I'll just clarify the first part. The salary is around 1,25,000, but he is not drawing it from the Forest Corporation. He is drawing it as a Forest Service officer from the government of Goa.
Whatever the salary is.
No, it is not debited to the account of the corporation. So
No, it is all right. That doesn't make any difference. He's taking it home. I want to know, as per the losses that are incurred, what is the state of affairs of these cashew plantations that were carried out by some of it has been done by the corporation, but most of it was done by the forest department. What is the state of affairs? Has the minister ever gone and seen them?
No, I have not visited the cashew plantations, but from the information that I have gathered, I know that the productivity is not very high, but there are very valid reasons for this. First of all, our cashew plantation in the forest department were primarily raised more than 48 years ago to prevent soil erosion, and the stress was not on productivity. Consequently, the cashew trees now are old, around 38 to 48 years. That is, the trees have almost outlived their lives. They are infested, diseased, moribund, senile trees in the plantations. Now, some plantations in the wildlife sanctuaries cannot be maintained due to the various restrictions imposed. And initially, when the plantation was done, unproven varieties of cashew seeds were planted, and that too in degraded areas, that is poor soil quality, and consequently, the productivity is not high. However, the government is taking corrective measures, and for this, every year, 2.5 crore grant is being used for rejuvenation scheme, that is gap filling and enrichment with high yielding grafts.
Thank you, madam. I want to tell you, you're talking to a farmer who has planted more than 100,000 of cashew trees. Much before the plantations were done during my tenure as a forest minister. And they are yielding well. Now, the plantations done by the forest department, by cutting the original trees, I'm afraid it was not for soil conservation. A lot of coups were given for clear felling, in which ordinary forest trees, various forest trees were there. Now, in their place, this cashew plantation was done because many times people were encroaching on the forest land, etc. They were maintained by the forest department. That time, in the forest department, there is no such balance sheets, etc. But the poor conditions of these forests, these plantations, are not because they are in a degraded soil. I would request you personally to come with me, madam, to come and see these plantations because they are in a very poor state, because these were given to people for 5 years, 6 years, auctioned off. This is the way they are being done. And they are only clearing around the cashew tree, not the other thing. There is no airing, etc., etc. It's a very poor conditions of the plantations. Next doors you will see done by private persons. And their plantations are yielding well. And they are not even grafts, ordinary trees, cashew trees. Therefore, my request to you is, unfortunately, this forest corporation is not doing so well. It has not been. We thought that things would prosper, but it has gone the other way around. Either transfer these plantations to the forest department instead of just giving it out on auctions, and let there be a department of parks and gardens. They are maintaining the Salauli garden very well. Let it be called parks and gardens. And these plantations should be with the forest department. They will do a better job because the forest department can look after them. This is my request. Please come with me. I will show you.
Shri, you may answer.
Speaker Sir, I definitely will take up the invitation of the Honourable Leader of Opposition, and I will come to see the cashew plantations. However, I would also like to say something on behalf of the Forest Development Corporation. The cashew plantations under the Forest Development Corporation is ensuring the protection of the green cover, and it is also a means of livelihood to the dwellers within the forest and close to the outside the forest areas.
Madam, that is not the case. My request to you is, why have a corporation for it? We did it. We know it was during my tenure this was made. It's a mistake. Because subsequently they were given out, leased out to farmers for 5 years, auctioned them. And they are not looking after, they are not fertigating them, they are not looking after them. They are just clearing it around the cashew tree and leaving everything to the gods. You see? You come with, that's why I am inviting you to come and see the state of affairs.
Shri Naresh Savar.
Speaker sir, being this is forest department related question, I congratulate and thank Chief Minister and Forest Minister for starting RFO office in Bicholi. त्याचबरोबर काजू प्लांटेशनाचे प्लॉट्स आसा आनी ताजे ऑक्शन जाता. दर कितल्या वर्सांनी ऑक्शन जाता हे मिनिस्टर सांगपाक शकता?
Sir, Speaker Sir, every year in the month of October, November, the Goa Forest Development Corporation invites expression of interest with wide publicity to the villagers residing in the vicinity of the cashew plantations located within 5 kilometers radius to execute memorandum of understanding. Now this happens every year, and there is also an open auction to unallotted plantations where the price is decided. Now, this auction happens every 5 years. Each plantation is auctioned every 5 years.
स्पीकर सर, दर 5 वर्सांनी ऑक्शन जाता, पूण ह्या 5 वर्सांक जो ऑक्शन ते घेता किंवा तो काजू ते आपण सांबाळटा तो तितून परत रिप्लांटेशन करता काय ना हेची जबाबदारी घेता काय ना हे सरकारान पळोवचें पडटलें.
Yes, I think, I'm very definite that the Goa Forest Development Corporation is conducting rejuvenation schemes, and special funds of 2.5 crores is granted for this, whereby gap filling and enrichment with high yielding varieties is done.
Shri Vishwajit Rane.
I would like to know from the Honorable Minister, just a minister mentioned that this is a source of livelihood to the local people. I also want to bring to your notice that in my constituency, Vaiapoi constituency, especially in Nagargaon Panchayat, you have got a lot of land and plantations of this Forest Corporation, cashew plantation. Are you aware that during the 5 years, large number of people, more than earning money and income on the output of those trees, cut these trees for grafts during monsoons and make more money? So by the time that 5 years period comes, whatever condition you see of the trees is pathetic, and next time perhaps you may get much lesser amount when you auction it. Is there any specific monitoring mechanism that monitors how this fellow who has taken on lease monitors these plantations that are taken on lease, what damage he does to the crops or what benefit he provides to those crops such as soil fertigation, etc.? Is there a system, and if there is, what is this mechanism and who is in charge of this mechanism, and how many such checks have been carried out and have they been minuted or some sort of system to have this mechanism? Because many times they earn money out of the grafts, they cut the trees. There's no scientific method if you give it to a local to cut the trees. So I just want to know whether this is being incorporated or thought of in the last couple of months.
Speaker Sir, I request the Honorable MLA to put this question, and I will provide the information asked.
Shri Vishnu Wag.
सभापती महोदय, माननीय वनमंत्र्याक हांव विचारपाक सोदतां की जे ऑक्शन आमी दितात काजूचें ते ऑक्शन दितना थंय तांकां फेणी घालपाचें बी रायट आसता काय कितें पावणेदाराक? थंय ते फेणी घालतात काय ना ते हातून? डू यू ऑल्सो अलॉट देम द रायट टू डिस्टील फेणी when the right to auction of cashews is given?
Well, I don't have these details, but as far as I know, I don't think that we give them the right to distill feni.
ताजें कारण अशें सभापती महोदय की बरेचशा जाग्यांनी आतां सुद्दां जे कोण फेणी गाळपी पारंपारीक डिस्टिलर आसा त्या सगळ्यांचे व्हडले प्रॉब्लेम जाला की एक्सायज डिपार्टमेंट तांच्या फाटल्यान लागला आनी तांकां ते रिन्यू करून दिनात. पारंपारीक दृश्ट्या कांय जाणां कडेन रायट आसा, पूण ते मागीर सांगता तुमी भाडकाराची एनओसी हाडा आनी हाडा अशें खूब कितें कितें सांगता तांकां. सो जे पारंपारीक डिस्टिलर आसा म्हाका दिसता तांचे सुद्दां हित पळोवप हें खूब गरजेचें आमी.
फुडलो प्रश्न श्री अतानासिया Monserrat.
Speaker, sir, may I be permitted to ask LAQ number 2B?